Well, good afternoon. It is April 29th, 2023, and I am still here in good old Pahrump. And today I'm going to show you a couple of things that, in a way, make Pahrump famous. I've driven maybe 10 miles outside of town here to the little area where the brothels are. And the most famous one of all, it's called the Chicken Ranch. I think the Chicken Ranch has been in existence since about 1976. And for those of you that don't know, most people vaguely know that prostitution is legal in Nevada. And there's a little bit more nuance to that. It's decided on a county-by-county basis of whether or not it's going to be legal. And the state statute says if the county has more than 500,000 people, then it's not even an option, which explains why Las Vegas does not have legal prostitution, because the county of Clark County, where Las Vegas is too large for that. We're in Nye County, NYE, and it does have the requisite population, and the county decided to allow prostitution. So these businesses, you see a sign up here that says Dennis Haas world famous cherry patch is that's one, but the one we're gonna go into the parking lot here is called the Chicken Ranch, and it's right here on the left. There are all sorts of interesting signage and things, but I'll just pull in the parking lot and then leave. I don't want to disturb anybody, but this is what it looks like. It's the brothel. They give, I understand they give tours. And it really is, if you look, what it's next to. It's next to nothing. That's just as desert going out there to the mountains of California. Those mountains there are definitely California. The California line, I think, is less than half a mile away. So we will get another look at it here from the other side, so you can see the famous Chicken Ranch sign, which is, I have to go in this other parking lot to get a nice view of that. And look, there's snow-capped mountains in the distance there. And here's the view of that famous sign right there. There it is. Where the West is still wild. All right, well, the next stop is we're going to go to the broadcast location and home of Art Bell. Now, if you haven't heard of Art Bell ran a radio show that was quite popular. It was a syndicated radio show called Coast to Coast. And Art Bell, he was very eclectic, and he had unusual guests on, and it was mostly centered around UFOs, the occult, the paranormal, and he was fascinating, and his guests were fascinating. It was on late at night, and I can remember as a young man, or maybe even a boy, listening with awe to the sound of his voice. He would say he was broadcasting from the kingdom of Nye, and that was Nye County is what he was referring to. And that's the county that we're in, NYE, but he called it the kingdom of Nye in the high desert. And the mystery surrounding, he's in the kingdom of Nye in the high desert. It was just my imagination ran wild, and it was almost always an exciting show that he had. Very interesting things. He would talk about things that weren't mainstream, that weren't, covered by the mainstream media by any means. He took UFOs very seriously. now it's come full circle, and the government now these days is taking it seriously. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a drive-by, and it happens to be right around the corner from the brothels. We're going to do a drive-by at his house. We're not going to stop or anything, because this house, I think, Coast to Coast is still on the air, and George Norrie, I think, is the guy that took over for him, and I think it still may be broadcasted from this house, but it doesn't have signs on it that say that. The only signs I see in the house, look at all the antennas, if you can see in your screen, the field of antennas around this neighborhood. But this is the place right up on the right here, where he did the broadcast from.
Arriving at
What's that?
941 Desert Lane on the right.
Well, there's a cul-de-sac here. We'll turn around and go back the other way, but I'm going to guess that all these houses have something to do with radio, because look at all these huge antennas everywhere. And I think the original place isn't the gray one, it's the brown one here on the left. I'm almost positive it's the brown one on the left, but we won't disturb these people, because all they seem concerned about is trespassers. And I'm sure they get a lot of looky-loos like me, but that's Art Bell. And that, to me, that's exciting. I never thought as a boy in a million years I would end up living as a 63-year-old man deep in the kingdom of Nye in the high desert, but here I am. And I'm pretty excited about that. So I know this is a real short little video with two strange kind of subjects, but these are two things that Pahrump is known for. The other thing I'll say about Pahrump is that the name Pahrump is Indian, and it means something about water, like water source. I'll put the exact translation. I'll put it in text when I go into editing. But it was because of the abundance of artesian wells that were in the valley, in the Pahrump Valley here, and it made it a desirable place to put down roots in the high desert. So anyway, that is my Saturday story. I hope you enjoyed it.